Hello, welcome. Today is episode 4 of the Secret Diary of a Nail Tech. I'm Dorina, and today we are going to talk about a topic that has been going around for quite some time, and I didn't want to say too much about it because I needed to do my research. UV lamp, branded UV lamps from Amazon or LED lamps, no name, branded, cheap, expensive ones. Let's get it started. Dear Diary, it is actually going to be like a little bit different episode because instead of talking to you, I want to just read up all the emails that I have shared through my research. So I'm not going to draw any conclusion. I'm going to give you all the information that I got so you can understand, you can make up your own mind to see what's the truth behind this whole UV, LED, wavelength, branded is good, no-name lamps are bad. So let's see what the truth is. About 2 months ago, a little bit over 2 months ago, I reached out to the relevant party to ask what's the story. I'm not going to name anyone, I'm not going to name brands, I'm not going to name manufacturers because that's not the point. The information is the point. So, hi, XYZ. I hope you're well and you had a lovely Easter break. That's the first email was after Easter. If you celebrated, I have a complex question. Please feel free to take your time getting back to me. I know it's a long email. I have been reading a lot of controversy about insurance regarding the UV lamps. What to use, what not to use. I have read multiple people actually, claiming that the insurance only covers the nail techs if they are using the same branded lamps when they are using the brand's products. When it comes to Beautypreneur Academy and my accredited trainings, I have been very keen on providing my students with independent trainings and teaching them how to use multiple brands, their products and their lamps safely, testing them both regularly to always be 100% sure that the products are fully cured. Because we as nail technicians usually work with multiple brands, I would like to believe that there is a way to use one UV lamp for multiple different brands' products, especially when they are going through the same regulations when they enter the European Union market. Although I don't know enough about the chemical complexity of each product, I presume they are not that different, right? There is an article from Doug Schoon. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering his name, so I do apologize. From Schoon Scientific, published on April 23rd, 2023. That kind of explains, what I'm talking about, and it makes it very easy to understand what is this whole UV and wavelength thing. UV cured products contain specialized ingredients called photoinitiators, without which proper curing would not be possible. Typically, photoinitiators are used between 1 and 5% concentration. There are many types of photoinitiators. Most products contain only one type. A few utilizes two different types. UVA is the form of energy that energizes and activates photoinitiators to initiate curing. There are about 80 different possible wavelengths in the UVA range, but only some of them are useful for curing. Wavelengths of UV are so tiny that they are measured in nanometers, which is 1 billionth of a meter or yard. Photoinitiators used in UV nail products absorb UVA between 320 and 400 nanometers, but not all the wavelengths emitted by LED lamps can energize each type of photoinitiators. Typically, only 10 out of the 80 possible wavelengths can do so. The activation range is highly unique to each photoinitiator, much is like a fingerprint is unique to each person. Once energized, the photoinitiator passes its absorbed energy to the monomers and oligomers, which causes them to chemically joining in a long chains in a process known as curing or polymerization. The curing cycle cannot occur unless the photoinitiator is exposed to the correct UV wavelengths. The obvious solution to avoid under or over curing would be for the UV lamp manufacturers to indicate on the label the UV watt intensity at 400, 390 and 380 nanometers. Also, UV curing product manufacturers should provide milliwatts of 400, 390 and 380 nanometer required as well as the minimum exposure time necessary to properly cure their formulas. With this information, users can ensure that they are using the correct LED nail lamps to ensure proper curing of specific UV enhancement or gel polish. Unfortunately, this much needed information is not currently provided. So, when I read this article, I took the initiative and I have reached out to multiple brands asking them, and I quote, "Can you please tell me what nanometer wavelength of UVA rays your gel products are setting under? Also, can you please tell me what wavelength range of UV lamps are working in?" Brand number 1. And again, I'm not going to name the brands. Brand number 1. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. Our gels can be cured under UV lamps with wavelengths between 370 and 400 nanometers. Our lamps also work at this wavelength. Brand number 2. "Hi Dorina, I'll get that information to you ASAP." So that was the end of March. No update since. Brand number 3. "Hi Dorina, thank you for your inquiry. Our nail lamps have a wavelength of 365 and 405 nanometer, and our gels need this to ensure a full cure." Brand number 4, point blank, ignored my email. Then I reached out to manufacturers about the lamps. Manufacturer number 1. "For most of our lamp, it is a dual chip, 365 and 405 nanometer. Manufacturer number 2. Our UV lamps wavelength range from 365 and 395 or 365 and 405 nanometer. If you want to meet the requirements for builder gel and some of the regular gel in markets, our wavelength is in line with your needs because we have been doing nail lamps in the industry for more than 10 years. Manufacturer number 3. Our nail lamps wavelength between 365 and 400 nanometers. Our nail lamps cure all UV gels in the market due to our wavelength cover 365 and 400 nanometers. Almost all UV gels cure under 365 and 400 nanometers in the market till now. Continue the email. "So as far as I can see, most lamps are covering the same wavelengths, both from brands and from manufacturers. I haven't gotten a specific answer about what wavelength the products need exactly to ensure proper curing. All I got that their lamp covers it," which is very interesting because all those nail lamps work with the same wavelength as their competitor brands or a no-name lamp from Amazon. "Can you please advise me how to explain this to my students? What is covered in their insurance once they have completed an independent training? What are they covered if they completed a branded training that will specifically want to force them to use the brand's every product?" So the answer came. "Hi Dorina, I'm well, thank you. I hope you're also. As long as the lamp carries a CE mark and is approved for sale in the UK and EU, is not adapted or modified, is suitably maintained as per manufacturer's instructions, then there is nothing restricting the use of a lamp from one brand being used with another brand products, unless specifically stated by the brand or the manufacturer." So, hi, XYZ. Thank you so much for your response. The first part makes perfect sense. However, I'm a little bit unsure about the unless specifically stated by the brand. One of the brands, for instance, say in their instructions, "Once you are happy with the placement of the gel, cure it for 60 seconds in a dual Pro UV LED lamp," which is their own. Many brands are actually naming their own lamps in their step-by-step guides. Does this mean that the brand specifically stated that their products only cure in their own lamp, or does it count as a recommendation? I feel that it's a marketing tool to sell their own products and make profit, and when it comes to a problem, they can deny taking responsibility if the nail tech did not use all of their equipment. Even we can see, based on my research, that most lamps, branded or not, work at the same wavelengths. I'm not sure if it is financially suitable for a beginner nail tech to buy 5-6 different lamps when they are working with 5-6 different brands. Also, it is inconvenient to change the setup of their workspace during the treatment based on what color or brand the client chooses on the spot. And what are your thoughts on working with brands who are selling gel product but not selling UV LED lamps? And I got the answer. Hi Dorina, you would need to speak to the manufacturers. They may say their products are compatible with different lamps. So I did. Hi there. I have one more question. If my current lamp works with a wavelength between 365 and 405 nanometer, then it is safe to use with your product. Is that correct? Brand number 1. Yes, the wavelength can be safely applied. Brand number 2. Thank you for your inquiry. All our gels are tested with our lamps. We work very closely with both our lamp manufacturer and our gel suppliers to ensure everything is safe and cures. Unfortunately, we cannot advise if other lamp will work with our products, as this hasn't been tested by ourselves. But we can, however, confirm that our products do require a minimum of 48 watts and 365 and 405 nanometers to cure. Oh yeah, the other two brands, just ignore me again. As I said, I am not going to draw a conclusion for you. You can watch this episode, you can listen to this episode with all the details as many times as you want. But basically, every brand and every manufacturers said pretty much the same or similar nanometer wavelength, 365 and 405. All of the brands were saying that their lamp working under these wavelengths. They also said that they cannot confirm if your lamp is going to work with their products because they haven't tested it, but they can confirm that their products cures between 365 and 405 nanometers, which most of the lamps are working with. So, I am absolutely looking forward to hear your thoughts. I hope this episode helped, and I cannot wait to see you next week.